Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Wise Idea Podcast with Christopher J. Harris. I am your host, Christopher J. Harris. And man, listen, it has been an incredible month, all month long. Here in the month of June, we have focused on dads and fathers and fatherhood and men and all of that comes with that and everything that comes with that. It's been amazing. I don't have any other way to say that. I don't need to sugarcoat it. You can go and listen for yourself. All this month, we have been talking and just laying the truth and wisdom down of what it means to be a dad. And I'm extremely honored that you have taken the time to hang out with us on this particular episode. I don't know how you found us, and I don't know whether you're a brand new listener or a casual listener of us or a regular listener, but whatever the case may be, I want to personally say welcome and so glad to have you. For those of you that are new, welcome to the party. Here we are on focus and on mission. Our clear goal is to inspire everyday people to live wise lives. In fact, we are focused to provide strategies for hearts to be inspired and for heads to become wise. You know, I say this every week, and it doesn't get old because there's so much truth packed into it. When wisdom becomes a part of your life, your entire life gets better in every single area. For those of you that are new, let me just tell you that we release a brand new podcast every single Thursday. And a lot of you listen to this podcast with friends and in groups. And I would personally love to hear about that. If you would, please send me an email at info at thewise-idea-podcast.com. Well, last month, guys, in May, we focused on moms and Mother's Day. And I threw a curveball to my listening audience. It was amazing. I have a great friend of mine who happens to be a comedian, who also is a Christian comedian. I don't know what they call themselves now. We got to figure that out. He'll probably correct me or rebuke me or whatever the case may be. But we got great reviews, rave reviews, and people just love the ability to just laugh in a healthy way. So last month, I had Mike, comedian Bowtie Goodwin, on the show, and we laughed about moms. And it was so good, y'all. I had to bring him back so we could laugh at the dads. Man, I'm an equal opportunity laugher. Like, I'm gonna laugh at both of y'all. We're gonna laugh at the moms and make fun of mama and all of your mama jokes. We also gonna make fun of the dads and the your daddy jokes too. So y'all, come on, welcome to the episode. Welcome to the podcast again. And this won't be his last time. Mike Bowtie Goodwin. What's up, Mike?
Greetings. How y'all doing?
Well, man, I listen. Literally, when we got ready to start this podcast today, you were finishing up your lunch, man. Tell everybody real fast. You eat the same thing all day, every day. What in the world are you eating, man?
I'm eating 6 ounces of chicken thighs. I'm eating 6 ounces of brown rice and either 6 ounces of collards, broccoli, or green beans, some type of vegetable. Or Brussels sprouts. I get Brussels sprouts in there sometimes.
And you say you and your wife, y'all do this meal prep thing every day, and y'all working on it. So you say you got a goal, man. What you trying to do?
I'm trying to be the shirtless comedian. That's why I'm trying to be on social media. I can't do it at the live shows because we're in churches. So you be the uninvited comedian once you come out there with no church shirt on it. But then all the mothers from the church be asking, when you gonna have me back though? So I'm trying to help your ministries out. I try to get your attention.
Wait a minute. Yeah, man. No, wait a minute. Listen, I need you to keep marriages together, man. And you walking out on the church stage with no shirt on.
They gonna be together. They just gonna be a little frustrated by why you can't do some sit-ups and something with that fella doing. So, because what I'm trying to do, I'm 42. I'm trying to make these young boys not take all the glory and all the shine. They say, I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to be Benjamin Button. I'm trying to hold on to my youth just as long as I can.
Man, that's hilarious. You know, so you're talking about walking around.
And the other thing, it's too many fat comedians. I'm trying not to be a fat comedian. I'm trying to break the cycle of fat comedians. I don't want to be a fat comedian.
So you just gonna go right there, huh? Too many fat comedians, man.
I'm just gonna do it, man. I got to do it. It's like when we became comedians, they gave us a membership thing in the packet to say you got to be fat in 10 years. And I said, no, I'm gonna scratch that one out. I don't want to participate. I'm gonna be a in shape comedian.
So to anybody that's listening to this episode, you got to remember that comedians make fun of everything. There is nothing that is off limits. So that joke.
Especially comedians. If you sensitive about fat comedians, you obviously don't have any eyes. That's the first problem going on with your listening audience. Name 5 comedians that don't have their borders extended, they territory expanded. They had to pick up their states and put them out of love. So, but that's just me, man. I can't do it.
So this is, let me just say to those of y'all, that people that try to figure me out sometimes and try to learn more about me, this is one of the ways that, first of all, I don't get embarrassed easily. Number 2, that I stay sane, because I got a bunch of friends just like Mike, where ain't nothing off limits. There is nothing off limits. If I post it or they see it and it's funny, they are going to throw me under the bus.
Hey, I remember the thing. You posted something, and a lady, she put the ATM machine or something, and you said, I know that girl. I forgot what it was, but it was a flyer of this minister, and she's doing financial classes, helping people get out of debt. But in her literature, it said ATM machine, and then you were like, that's my buddy. And I was like, hey, man, your buddy out here being redundant. And then I think she said something in the comments. It was very funny, but she was not happy about it. So
yeah, so we're going to skip right over that.
She listen to the podcast. I'm sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to. It wasn't personal. I just saw it.
She might be not just a listener, man. She might be a patron or a sponsor.
Right. I'm no shade. I just saw it.
So let's get.
But I know what you're doing. You got a wonderful ministry.
Yeah. So let's get back to this whole walking around with the shirt off thing, because one of my pet peeves is, hey man, why you got to try to have a full conversation with me in the locker room at the gym? We all trying to get a shower and get out of here to get to our appointment. Why you got your birthday suit on and you trying to have a full conversation with me? Can we talk about that? Can we fix that?
87. Why you 87 walking around chewing sunflower seeds, having conversations? And they got a towel and it's on their shoulder. It ain't like they just in their birthday suit. They own a towel. You see the towel. It's on their person, but it's not on there the way that it needs to be. Like, why is that on your shoulder? Like you pastoring right now and you wiping the sweat off your face. So you need to cover up. And I don't talk to men that don't have pants on. Like that's always been in my constitution. Like if we having a conversation, you need to have on pants, because I'm having on pants. I'm not gonna say anything to you without my pants, and I would expect that you would abide by those same reasons. And the other thing, they in there when you get in the gym, and when you first get to the gym, then when you go back in after your workout, they still in there. You like, man, what is you doing? You just walk around in the gym parading yourself? Like, why are you still in here?
I love.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I love the line. I love the line when they say, "Oh yeah, young buck, go on, get your shower and stuff, cause you got somewhere to be. I'm good. I'm good, man. It's your turn.
You got somewhere to be too. Out of here, you need to be up out of here. Yeah, I'm retired. That don't mean you can walk around the locker room naked all day. I don't know if you ever seen.
They treating the locker room like some guys treat McDonald's getting their coffee in the morning.
Right. You just gonna hang out. No, get it and go. This ain't the hangout time. Go. This is a locker room. And I don't know if you ever seen this. So they got the towel on their shoulder and they drying themselves off in the little hand dryer thing. I'm like, what are you doing? Get from in front. That's not for you. That's not for that. Your hands go there. Nothing else go there. People doing weird stuff in the gym, man. I don't like it.
So, Mike, I got a mixed audience, right? I got a mixed audience. I'm blessed to have a mixed audience. So let's educate some people a little bit, because some people may not know that men, we have these unspoken rules that it's probably not written down in a book anywhere, but we somewhere along the line between age, like, I don't know, 10 and grown man adulthood, you figure this out. Like if we walk into the restroom, you're not supposed to come to the stall right next to me.
Right. And if you do, keep your mouth shut. We talking. Hey, what's going on, player? Nothing. I don't know who you talking to right now. Now, the craziest thing I did see, I stopped at the rest area, and there were just 2 urinals. And I was at one, and the guy waited till I left to go to the next one. But another man came in and went right to it. So he was like, man, you stay there if you want to. This is a free urinal. So, like, I was very confused. Now, one thing, a man law that I'm teaching, I need to teach my son, because he's 7. He's still using the bathroom like a little boy. So I'm like, hey, you don't need to take your whole pants down when you do the number 1. And I don't know, I keep trying to explain to him to stop doing that, because we stop, and I got to take him to the bathroom. You don't want to walk up and see little boy cheeks when you go to the bathroom. And I don't want to take him into the little covered area, because I'm like, come on, man. They got it at your height. Like, you just walk up there. But don't pull your whole shorts down, son. Just keep your shorts up. Just pull the part out that you need to use, and keep the rest of that covered up. So that's something I'm teaching him. Like, he's not there yet. He's still using the bathroom like he's 3. I'm like, you gotta cut that out, man. There's another man law that is not written. Don't put your hand in the small of my back, especially if you're a man. Don't touch that. That's not right. That's very wrong. You can touch the top of my shoulder. There's a lot of things you can do. You touch my arm. Don't touch small on my back. That's a very tender. That's a tender spot. That's reserved for a wife. I think that's the only person. Oh, I think only thing go there, your wife's hand or a pistol. I think them the only 2 things that to go in the small of your back. I think those are 2 unauthorized things that go in the small of your back. But those are men laws. Like, we just got to learn these things as we go. Like, nobody gonna tell us. Like, you can't ask another man what kind of cologne that is. I found that out the wrong way. I smelled something. I say, brother, what's that? He was like, whoa. What you doing, man? I was like, I like the fragrance, son. But apparently that's a violation. So I violated.
But that's,
so you don't.
Yeah, but I tell you another one. You don't. If you had the same shirt or the same jacket or the same shoes as a man, and you're not wearing them that day, it's a man code violation to walk up to that brother or to make the announcement in front of the group that's there. Oh, man, I got that same jacket. Come on, man.
Why? Why are you doing this, sir? This leads nowhere. Like, what you want us to be like, oh, that's a nice jacket that you like wearing right now? Like, what you want? You want a compliment for something you're not doing?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Here's another man code violation. I had to teach my boys this because, so I cut my son's hair, right? And we were getting ready to do something, and it was one of those situations where I wasn't able to cut their hair because of time, so I was going to just, so take them to the barbershop. And, so these are my sons. Right. They used to me cutting their hair. So we have full-fledged daddy-son conversations while I'm cutting their hair. It's actually a time that I look forward to. It's bonding, But they forgot that it's another dude cutting their hair. And I didn't teach them this beforehand, but we had to have a serious conversation when we left. Okay, man code violation. When a dude is cutting your hair, do not look at him in the face.
Don't do it. Close your eyes, drop your gaze. You do not make eye-to-eye contact with the barber. That's very awkward. That's the most awkward thing ever. You gotta close your eyes.
And the ladies that are listening to this episode are probably like, really? Like, what's the big deal? Just trust us on this one.
Yeah, very inappropriate. You cannot do that. see, the barbershop, that's why I think it's important to take your son, even though you cut him, you got to take him sometimes to train some things that you forget about it because you doing it. So, but there's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to cut it, and he got to know how to navigate in that barbershop, because that barbershop could be a landmine of man code violation. I was in there one day, my barber in there playing slow jams, and it's like 7 dudes in there, and somebody was like, "Hey, turn that station, brother. We not about to sit up here and listen to Jodeci, all these dudes." And my barber, he didn't think about it. He relaxed. He had his job. He just in his little zone. We was like, "Nah, violation. Flag on the play, brother. This is very inappropriate. Turn that to the oldest something NPR. We not about to sit up here and listen to the Quiet Storm."
That's like one barbershop I went into, man. They had a lady in there cutting hair, and she was killing the game now. She was cutting hair, man. But she tried to protest and wanted to turn from ESPN to watch like Days of Our Lives. Like, wait a minute now. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting up in the barbershop watching Days of Our Lives as the world turns.
I'd have made a new word called Sam Foolery. So you take Tom, it ain't even Tom no more. It's Sam Foolery or Earl Foolery. That's kind of foolery it is. It's not just Tom anymore. It's Marcus Foolery. That's just foolery. You're not going to be watching no Days of Our Lives in the barbershop. That's a sanctuary for the men.
Here's another man code violation for the barbershop. And then we're going to talk about dads a little bit too. You don't need a barbershop mad. I don't care how heated the conversation is. It is, you have permission to get angry, to get loud, to fuss, to point, to throw your hands on your hip, to huff, to puff. But it's a man code violation to leave the barbershop upset.
That's a good one. Because that's where you really learn how to debate and argue and not take it personal, you go back and forth. Because people say some outlandish stuff in the barbershop, and you got to talk some smack. Like, you just can't just be saying. And I'm the kind of person at the barbershop, I'm quiet till I can't be quiet no more. I'm like, all right, I'm going to let them get away with that one. Okay, I'm going to let them get away with that. Then at some point, I'm like, come on, man. What are you talking about over there? And then now we got a problem. So, yeah, you can't leave out there huffing and puffing. Y'all got to shake hands. And I always like, brother, when you coming back? Because we got to continue this conversation. What's your day? Because I'm sporadic. I just kind of pop in.
Yeah, what's your appointment time? I need to come back during your appointment time.
I'm coming back with you. Yeah, I will be at the beginning of your barbershop experience because I got to hear the rest of this foolishness you talking.
All jokes aside, I know we laughing a little bit and joking a little bit, but I was sitting here thinking just now, I don't know if I have ever heard of a fight or a shooting happening in barbershops. Have you?
Oh, no. Now, I wanted to take my belt out and spank somebody else's kid in the barbershop, but I hadn't wanted to fight a physical fight with another man. Because sometimes that's what's happening too. A lot of single ladies are bringing their sons to get a haircut, and some of their sons off the chain. Some of their sons don't have the type of discipline that my children receive at their home. So I like to franchise my discipline. Like, if you need a franchise, a disciplinary to come in, I would feel more than comfortable franchising my disciplinary posture in your son's life. If that's something that anybody's interested in, you can get with us. My contact information will be made available to you. But if you want me to come and franchise some discipline techniques with your young man, just let me know, and I'll make myself available for you. That's just out the kindness of my heart.
Did you just say franchise your discipline? Is that what you just said?
Franchise. Like, if you don't have the discipline in your area, but you want it, we can franchise it. We can get it over there to you.
I'm calling the flag on the play. I'm calling the flag on the play.
We Starbucks it.
All right. So it's Father's. Yeah, so it's Father's Day. We're focusing on dads, and dads don't get enough credit, man. We talked about last month. We talked about if Mother's Day you're trying to get a reservation, you got to book a year in advance. But Father's Day, man, you come up there and you can walk in with a group of 20 and get a ticket.
Man, dude, this past Mother's Day, we sat out at this. We went to brunch. People had their lawn chairs. They was bringing out water to the people. Ain't nobody was mad. Ain't nobody upset. Man, we probably had a 40-minute wait to get to the food.
Y'all was tailgating outside of the restaurant.
Outside of the restaurant. And I'm talking about nobody had no problems. Everybody was in their little groups, hanging out, being pleasant. Father's Day, folks got 5 minutes to wait. And they were like, man, we going on to the house, man. We popped some popcorn for Dad, man. We ain't about to sit out here for 45 minutes to wait to get there and nothing to eat.
That's so funny, man. That's hilarious. So tell me one of the funniest stories that you've seen or that you've heard about dads, man. Just well, you know, something that's just so crazy.
What it's hilarious to me because I'm always looking for examples of good fathers. So I'm always trying to, read. There's certain movies that people will say, man, it's a good movie, good storyline, a good father-son relationship. So, I'm reading in the Word. Everybody know about the father of our faith, Abraham. Everybody loves to talk about Abraham and his and how he brought his family through by faith. He waited a long time to have a child, and then he finally had his child. So Abraham, I was reading, that's in Genesis, the 22nd chapter, where Abraham and Isaac, he finally gets his son of promise. Because he tried to get him another son, but that wasn't right. He got him one of them side chicks. That they didn't say that in the Bible, side chick. I don't know side chick in Hebrew. It might be concubine. I think that's what the Hebrew terminology of that is. But he had, a little fella, and then they had to put him out. So he went and had Isaac, son of promise, right? So they go to the mountaintop. This is Genesis, the 22nd chapter. So I'm reading the Bible, and I'm like, man, God required him to sacrifice his son. Like my son get on my nerves now, but I couldn't sacrifice him. Like, Lord, what in it, man? This is something. So they go to the mountaintop, and even Abraham is faithful in saying, I think he told the servant, me and the boy will return. Like, he was like, I'm bringing him back, alive or dead. We coming back. So they go. Abraham go to sacrifice Isaac. God speaks. There's a lamb in the bush. Now they go on. Now, if you look at the scriptures, the next time you see Abraham and Isaac together, it until Genesis, the 25th chapter, when Isaac is burying his father Abraham. So I submit unto you that incident on the mountaintop was probably the last father-son trip that Abraham and Isaac went on together. That's the last time Isaac went anywhere. Abraham couldn't say, hey, man, I'm about to run to Damascus to get some livestock. Like, nope. Nah. What you're not going to do is get me out here and try to sacrifice me again, Pop. That's what you're not going to do. They ain't went on no more trips. Matter of fact, he said the servant to go find him a wife. He said, because they supposed to go together. I said, nah, I'm not going nowhere with that man. He said, well, servant, you go down there and you find that boy a wife. He ain't getting in the car with Abraham no more. Can you imagine? See, everybody like to talk about it from Abraham's perspective. When you hear the preachers preach, they talk about how Abraham believed God. Like he took his son, but nobody ever say about how Isaac was feeling in this scenario. He's like, man, I'm not going to the mall with Dad. I'm not going to the grocery store. Man, you're not getting me nowhere. But no, sir. So to me, that's one of the more hilarious stories in the Bible that people don't even know is funny. Like you've been reading it all your life, and that's just hilarious to me because that's one and done, like an NBA player, like it went to Kentucky.
So Mike, Abraham is like, hey Isaac, the Jerusalem Jets are playing today at 1:00. Right.
Front row tickets.
Do you want to go to the game? Isaac, do you want to go to the game? No, Dad, I'll watch it on TV.
I'm straight. We got front row tickets, right? We sitting up in the Eagles nest. That's they call it the Eagles nest. They ain't called the skybox probably back then. We sitting in the Eagles nest. We could watch the Philistines take on the Amorites. And like, nah, we good. The Amorites undefeated though. They undefeated.
So yeah, that's no man. I'm sure Isaac probably was like, I don't know, Dad. Dad, just tell me about it when you come back, Dad.
Yeah, I'm not going. He probably was mad talking to Sarah. She like, well, the last time y'all went out, you did try to sacrifice the boy. He was like, God told me to do that, man. I ain't want to do that on my own. Yeah, that boy ain't going nowhere. He's dead, man. He sent the servant to go find him a wife. The dad's supposed to go with you. No, I'm going to send the servant.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever look at that story.
No, you're not looking at that. Yeah, never again. That's see, that's how I see subscriptions sometimes. I see, look, that's how comedians' mind works, man. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, man, it's more to this story than we talk about in these sermons, man.
Yeah. So what word of encouragement can you offer dads, man, and folks that are listening to this regarding fathers and fatherhood?
Well, one of the biggest things I would say about dads, fatherhood, is you're not in it alone. A lot of times the enemy would want to make a man believe that he's the only one confronted with challenges, and I had a challenge recently with one of my children, and I was just kind of, blown away, man, because kids, I got, young children. My kids in middle school, not even in middle school, in elementary school. So I get word that one of my children is out using profanity at the schoolhouse, just cussing it up, man, just cussing. I'm talking about the big cuss words too. And I had just talked to them about that, about how the world and how the kingdom are two different things. Like the way that the world does business and the way the kingdom does business is separate. And so there was an opportunity for them to say, hey, Dad, I've been having some challenges at school with my cousin. Because I know that's what happened to me. When I was a young Christian boy, I was probably saved until I was like in the 7th grade. And I got the cussing, boy. And I just was cussing on until like I got rededicated. So, but I talked to another brother, and because if I would have responded the way that I wanted responded then, man, it would have been World War III. And I probably would have did more damage and not taught a lesson. I'm referring or going back to when I was a child and what my dad would have done. But I don't know if that would have been the best move. My dad was he was a fire and brimstone kind of guy. He wasn't even a Christian. He just liked the fire and brimstone part. So I took some time. I took about a week to get myself together before I had the conversation. Because I was like, you want to cuss? I can show you some cussing. You want to hear some cussing. But and I'm like, do I cuss at y'all? Because y'all give me reasons every day to cuss at you. So I don't do that. So hopefully I would think that you would, have the same level of respect when you leave out of the house. But they're children. We got to train them. They got to learn. They got to make mistakes. And so I would encourage brothers that you're not in it alone. Anything that you've encountered, there's been fathers that have encountered the same thing and some. So you would tell a brother your story, and they'd be like, man, let me tell you about my boy. He out here looking at pornography. Like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, well, let me keep this in perspective. And so I think that it's important for us to recognize that we aren't alone in this father. Now, you may not be able to totally explain to your wife in that moment what the way that you're thinking. And so it's good to have some brothers as sounding boards. So I would encourage you, man, get you a little team of brothers, man, that you can iron sharpens iron, and that you can have real conversations with. One thing frustrates me sometime about Christian men, kingdom men, that we try to put on the facade of everything is all, oh, praise the Lord, hallelujah, all is well. It's like, man, we got real life issues going on. So you need to have real conversations with real brothers.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, man. But I gotta say this. I discovered who one of my real friends were when we were all out of town on this trip at this conference, and we were going out to eat at the hotel. We're gonna meet downstairs at a certain time, and this brother came downstairs, and the back of his feet looked like he stepped in talcum powder. And I discovered that he was a real friend when we ragged him and rebuked him and told him he can't come with us like that. He took it like a champ, man. He took it like a champ.
Yeah. Yeah. We're making weak men out here, Chris. We're making Christopher. We're making weak men. We need strong men.
Yeah, you need to have some brothers in your life that'll tell you, look, man, don't come out of the house like that.
Yeah, don't do that, man. Don't be in the locker room naked talking to people, man. Cut it out. Stop. You need that in your life. You need some course correction. You need that type of stuff, man. And so, yeah, man. And once a brother, people understand that correction comes from love. Folks ain't got to say nothing to you. If folks have taken the time to give you some information about something you doing all, man, take it and be appreciative. If they could let you just be out here looking crazy.
Here's another man law violation. If a brother hands you a mint, you cannot turn it down.
Oh, I'm good. No, you're not. I'm not just handing out mints. I'm not the Salvation Army. I'm not just handing. Do I look like a mint distributor? There's a reason why. There's a strange scent that emotes from your. I do this thing called a word of the day, and one of the words I found was a word called feculent. That's a word that if somebody hands you some mints, your breath is feculent, and y'all can look that up. See, you got you some entertainment and some education today on this wonderful podcast. But yes, don't turn down anything that improves the mouth's breath. Your mouth deodorant. Yeah, you put it in your mouth. Just take it. Say, I appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't know I was out here slaying people with this dragon. See, that's the other thing too. They don't have nicknames for bad breath. We don't call it the dragon. We used to call it the dragon, but they just now let people out here with this stinking mouth. So they got to cut this out. You got to say, hey, brothers, I'm offering you this mint because you got the stinking mouth. And I would like for you to take this mint in Jesus' name.
Yeah, you're gonna get an offer for a mint and be like, no, I'm all right. No, I need you to take this mint, please. And then it gets awkward when they turn it down, because now you got to figure out another way to let them know, no, you need this. Like right, I wasn't being nice just to offer it.
Right. Brother, were you eating garbage for lunch? Like, you can't say that. Did you have a trash sandwich? Like, you don't want to say that. Were you chewing onions on the way over here, sir? I'm not just handing you. I'm not the candy man. This is not Halloween.
Yeah. So here's another man law violation. Okay, another man law violation. Quit putting on cologne when you haven't taken a bath.
See, you use the haven't taken a bath. I say when you're musty, when you stink, when you don't smell good. And all the wives say amen. I'm sure that just all the wives just said amen.
Okay, so we gotta, like, seriously though. So what's this thing, Mike? Like I've been noticing, man, last couple of weeks, man, I'll just say over the last month, man, I've noticed, I've been on and off of planes, in and out of airports. Man, I've been in some pretty swanky places, even 4-star, 5-star places. I've been in some dirty, side the road gas station bathrooms, the whole nine. And one of the things that I'm seeing across the board is, what's this whole thing of brothers not washing their hands when they leave the bathroom? I don't get it. You laughing, I'm not laughing.
No. So I'm laughing because when I first started working, I used to work at this grocery store, and I could tell you the name of the manager, but I'm not gonna say his name. So one day I went to the bathroom, and he did that very thing. He came in there and used the bathroom, and he didn't wash his hands. I think he might have washed his hands before. Oh, he didn't wash his hands after. That's what he didn't. And so he must have saw the look on my face like, hey, man, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, he washed his hands before. That's what he did, and didn't wash it after. And so he was like, my hands are dirty because I've been out here shaking people's hands and putting groceries in cars. He was like, what I'm about to touch is clean. That's been clean. I put that away clean long time ago. He said, my hands dirty from interacting with people. So he washed his hands before and then go about his business. But like, sir, once you touch that, now your hands dirty because I don't need to touch that. So you need to clean that off your hands. You don't need to put that on my hands. So he didn't understand that part of the equation. He got to wash his hands before, but you need to wash your hands after.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We getting ready to start an official movement. # wash your hands.
Wash your hands at all times.
Yeah.
In all arenas. Here's the thing about Father's Day I find to be quite interesting, Crystal. They're trying to take it from us. They don't want us to have it. If you look, they done joined graduation season to Father's Day. Get that out of here. Graduation happens at the end of May. Why is graduation hanging out here in June the 19th to the 15th? Them kids been done graduated. Get out of here, man. Don't be trying to lump us together. You don't lump nobody else together. You ain't got Arbor Day and Flag Day. Those two make sense. They go together. Why you don't put them together? But you won't throw graduation and Father's Day on the same display. Give me my display in it of itself. Don't be smashing me in, double booking me. I'm Father's Day the headliner. Don't be having no two headliners on the show. And then they saying something about people getting, they feeling some type of way. They want to not even honor fathers. I'm like, man, y'all need to go lay down. You're a little sleepy.
It's funny you would say that, man, because there was this movement a couple years ago where literally on Father's Day they had these cards. Several companies and stores had these cards where it was Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Yeah. So
and man, when I saw that, I said, "What is this?"
So that's a controversial piece. People would get their moms a happy father. Now, my pastor says it's the best way. He's like, you can be the best mother that you can, but you can't be a father. Like, I don't care how great of a mother you are, you can't be a father. You're a great mother. You're an excellent mother, but you can't be a mother and a father. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, there's a lot of folks that say Happy Father's Day to people that ain't even their daddy.
That's funny, man.
Male.
It's funny, not funny, all at the same time.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, too, about Father's Day, man. Y'all don't get on, well, Father's Day probably will have to pass by the time we get this up, but I don't like how people get on Father's Day on social media and just beat up on dads. Like, if you had a bad dad, just take a quiet day. Use all the other days to talk about how bad your dad was. Don't do it on Father's Day. Do it on Father's Day Eve. Do it on the day after Father's Day. Don't come on Father's Day and talk about your daddy. I think I said this about the mother. Don't nobody do that to their mom on Mama's Day. And a bunch of people been raised by their grandma. But they don't get on there and throw Pam under the bus on Mother's Day. They say Happy Mother's Day to Pam. That's all one line.
That's the equivalent to somebody standing up at the funeral and throwing the deceased under the bus at their funeral.
Right. He dead.
Like there's just some things. Yeah, there's just some things you just don't do. Everybody knows that. You just don't do it.
You know Earl been up to no good, but you don't get out here and say this. Earl gone. Get that man some honor. Earl needs a little honor. Get the brothers get some honor on the day that's meant to be honored. But that's just like folks that get mad because people in relationships on Valentine's Day. They get on social media, talk about how they love themselves. That's nice, but be quiet. You talk about that on Valentine's Day Eve or the day after Valentine's Day. You don't do that on the holiday.
That's exactly right. All right, so we got to get ready to get out of here, man. We've been laughing and joking, and if anybody tuned in to this episode, we just want you to know that there is a benefit, there is a blessing, and it is totally Bible and scriptural and healthy to laugh. You need to laugh sometime. And so literally, I had Mike on for Mother's Day in the month of May, and I brought him back because we just need to laugh a little bit more. And the focus of our show, The Wise Idea, is to offer wisdom and to offer insight for people who are living everyday lives and in a real way and a direct and indirect way. One of the things that I'm trying to tell you is that some of the wisest things that you can do in life sometimes is simply just get you a good laugh in. Learn how to laugh and appreciate what life has to offer. All right, Mike. So anything else, closing words, man? We're going to go ahead and close this out so that people can get ready for July. We're going to have some incredible content in July too.
Yeah, I want to tag on to what you just said, because I've been thinking about, kind of the tragedies that's been happening with depression and people taking their lives, and just how you can find yourself in a funk emotionally. And I tell people, I've been saying this a lot whenever I get up and speak. It's important that you do what you're doing right now, like giving people an opportunity to laugh. It's important that we schedule time to laugh, because you know what you don't have to schedule is sorrow. Sorrow don't care anything about your schedule. Sorrow don't care that you got an interview this week. Tragedy doesn't care that you got this week off. Like, things happen and you have to adjust. So you need to fill yourself up with some joy. So when sorrow shows up and when tragedy shows up, you're not empty and you are able to navigate through difficult times.
That's good, man. That's good. And, over the last few months, we've had a number of celebrities that, whose lives have ended because of suicide. And one of the things that I said right in the midst of all of that is, obviously from a media standpoint and a notoriety standpoint and a namesake standpoint, we know many of those celebrities because they're celebrities. But there are thousands of folks every single day who are struggling, whose names we don't know. And so it's important not just to laugh, but it's important for everybody to check in on your friends, check in on the folks that, that cross your heart and your mind, and check in on your strong friends, right? One of the things that I think is important for us to recognize is that while we pray for people who are struggling, it is just as important for us to pray for people who are experiencing success. Success has a cost, has a price tag associated with it. And it's important for you to recognize that as well as you're connected to different people. So, Mike, man, thanks for being on today. This has been nothing short of amazing. And I'm so glad you made yourself available to be on to make people laugh a little bit. And in the process, you gave people some man laws and educated some women that men operate by some rules. Maybe one day we'll figure out how to put all of this in a book. Maybe we'll figure that out one day.
Right. We should do that.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
The only problem is that sometimes there are man code violations, and it's not like you could have ever put that in a book. You just should have known better.
Right. Yeah. You ought to know better than that.
Like, you just don't. Yeah, but I think you just don't walk up to a brother.
People. So.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
So we just need to provide some help with people. People can't have too much help.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Wise Idea Podcast with Christopher J. Harris. I hope that you have been inspired and encouraged and literally laughed a little bit during our time together today. If you would like additional resources and information, you can find that information at thewiseideapodcast.com. I want to invite you to join the conversation on social media. Our guest today, Michael Goodwin, is on social media. You can follow him in our show notes. I am on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest at CJ Harris, ONE. We also have a Facebook group for the Wise Idea Podcast. And the podcast is also on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You can find us on all of those platforms. Finally, if you have enjoyed what you've heard, please head over to iTunes and Google Play and leave us a rating and a review for other listeners to find us. We are also on Stitcher, TuneIn, and Spotify, and coming soon to iHeartRadio. Y'all know how I end every single week. I want to thank you for joining us today. We'll look forward to hearing you and connecting with you next week. But in the meantime, be wise.
Understanding. I say, what's the missing principal thing in all I getting? Get understanding. Understand.